Recently, I drove all the way to Silver Dollar City to check out the remake of Fire in the Hole. Now, the original ride was certainly a fun family attraction, but it wasn't the type of ride a thrill seeker like me is looking for. Regardless, I wanted to see if the new version was better than the old one, and I was actually very surprised with my experience. So join me as I give you my full in-depth review of Fire in the Hole. Hey everyone, Kalahale here from Destination Thrills, and I finally made it down to Silver Dollar City to try the remodeled Fire in the Hole ride. If you didn't know, the original Fire in the Hole was technically a roller coaster, but operated more like a dark ride, as most of the ride is spent traveling through different themed areas along the track. This new version follows along the same concept with very little deviation from the original. So let's just jump right into my review of the ride, starting with the ride experience. First, we have to talk about the new building and the new queue line. The theming is fantastic in this area. From the new ride sign to the little touches in the queue line, it really gives an added charm to the ride. Then we have the biggest change to the ride, and that is the RMC trains and the RMC track. The restraints on these trains are a bit more restrictive than the previous ride, which honestly surprised me at first. I was really curious on why we were gonna need this restraint. I began to think, did they add like another drop to this ride or what? Just so you know, going into it, I did not look up anything on the new version. I wanted the experience to be a surprise. And I remember from the old Fire in the Hole that it only had a few drops and a little bit of speed, so I was really curious on why we needed so much safety. Now, even though they are more restrictive, they are super comfortable and do not detract from the experience. All right, now let's get into the ride itself, and it starts off exactly the same as the old ride did. You start winding your way up and up and up, and each time you make a turn, you go into a new themed area. Most of these themed areas were exactly the same as the old ride, but there was definitely some noticeable upgrades in each section. And obviously, with it being brand new, there were no blemishes or malfunctioning of the animatronics, and the audio sounded very clean, so it really engaged you in the experience. Finally, when you make it through most of the cutscenes, you get to the top to see what looks to be a train car on fire. As you begin to turn inside of the train car, you hit the first drop, which is short, but sort of wakes you up from the calmness of the first half of the ride. You then hear one of the characters yell out to not switch the track because a train is coming. You venture into a very dark area and start to hear train noises. As you turn the corner, you start to see train lights flashing and facing you. Silver Dollar City cleverly has the track dip right before the train to give you that illusion that you are going head on with it. The drop was surprisingly good. Like, I had a slight airtime sensation that I wasn't expecting, which was pretty awesome. You then pull up from the drop and into an area that looks like there's burning buildings surrounding you, but you're only in this area for a matter of seconds as you then go back into another drop with another hint of airtime, and then you hit the bottom where the ride ends. So as you can see, the moments where you're actually experiencing those roller coaster-like elements of speed and drops and airtime, that part is very short. Most of the time you're spent getting to the top, going through the different animatronic scenes. All right, now that we've talked about the experience, let's go over my ratings of this ride. First, we have the intensity rating, which I'm gonna give it a 1, and it only gets a 1 because children in front of me were actually frightened by the couple of drops that we had in the dark. And I'll be honest, you do get a little bit of butterflies on each drop, so someone who is little and maybe not expecting that sensation will probably be thrown off by it. But besides that, it is truly a gentle ride and something that the whole family should be able to enjoy. Next, we have Fun. I will give Fun a 3.5 rating. This is more of a personal thing. I am a coaster enthusiast more than I am a dark ride fan, so this ride isn't really my cup of tea compared to Outlaw Run or Time Traveler, but I think the theming is amazing and the ride has a really good storyline that gives it its character. Just be aware, we're not talking Disney or Universal level dark ride experience here, but you are gonna get a very Silver Dollar City vibe when you are on this attraction. All right, next let's talk about uniqueness. I'm gonna give this a 5. Besides Blazing Fury, maybe, there really isn't many dark rides like Fire in the Hole. Although it is not laden with the newest technologies, and you don't have different scenes playing immersive animations, you get the charm of the old school animatronics. Plus, the roller coaster aspect of the ride really separates it from other dark rides I've been on. I personally haven't been on a ride like Fire in the Hole, so I would say it's one of a kind and certainly deserving of a 5. Next, let's talk about comfort. I touched on the new trains and the restraints and how comfortable they were, sure. I would also add that the ride is very smooth with the new RMC track, so I'm gonna give this ride an easy 5 for smoothness and comfort. Next, we have duration, which I'm gonna give a 3.5. It's not the longest ride out there, but you certainly have enough scenes and moments to make it an enjoyable experience. Of course, compared to other dark rides out there, this will feel a bit shorter, so I will reserve 4s and 5s for those rides, but the duration is certainly good enough for that fun experience. Finally, my overall rating. Fire in the Hole is a great ride for families. There are certainly no blemishes that I could find in what Silver Dollar City was trying to achieve here. I also like that they didn't completely deviate from the original ride. In fact, they really preserved most of the old ride's experience with just some upgrades to enhance the experience overall. Going in, I got exactly what I expected, and I do think the new version is certainly an upgrade of the ride. Now, if I was rating this on execution, then I would give this a 5. But this is my personal overall ranking, which compares to the other coasters I have been on. And like I've mentioned many times in this video, I like fast, tall, and out of control, and I know most of my audience feels the same way. So I think it would be wrong of me to give this a 5 amongst coasters like the Voyage. If you're looking for that crazy coaster experience, this one is not for you. So only for that reason, I will be giving this ride a 3 overall, but I do believe this is one of the best family attractions at Silver Dollar City. All right, so this was my review of the new improved Fire in the Hole. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below if you've been on this coaster and what your thoughts were about it. Now, if you like this review, I have plenty more on my channel. I will link the playlist to all of my reviews in the description below. And finally, don't forget to subscribe for more theme park content. I am Kalaheo. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my vlog from my most recent trip to Silver Dollar City in the link on the screen.